on that?
Well, first of all, I think people should have the choice to send their kids wherever they think they can get the best education. That is a family matter. Uh, as it relates to education as mayor, there's not a whole lot I can do other than appoint school board members and use the bully pulpit of the mayor's office. But I do see, uh, and this goes back to how you deal with crime too, we have to cut down on the number of juvenile delinquents that's coming out of our public schools every year. We've always had juvenile delinquents in society. What we have at this point is an unmanageable level of them. So we got to get that level down where our society can absorb it if we have some kids who just go off the rails. But right now we're producing them like row crops coming out of public schools because of the lack of discipline in the schoolroom, in the classroom. What I propose on education, this proposal doesn't cost anybody a dime. This is just a mindset. This is a rule change. I want teachers to have absolute control over who gets to sit in their classroom, okay? Because let's just say we got 25 students in a classroom, a 45-minute teaching period. You got one child who doesn't want to be there, who's disrupting the whole class. So you got 25 students who are no longer getting the basics in reading, writing, and arithmetic. We get rid of that one child by saying, okay, this child is out of this classroom. The only person who can get that child back in this classroom is Jesus Christ or their parents, and they got to sit in there with him. All right? So if that parent who's likes to sit at home and watch, Maury Povich all morning long, they're not going to like having to come to school and sit with this child. So there's going to be some changes there. All right? In the event that that parent doesn't want to come in, then the principal will be responsible. So as long as it's outside that classroom, the other 24 students can get their lessons. So the principal who's got their promotion because they had all this magic on their resume about how they can help at-risk kids and yada, 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 well, this is their opportunity to deploy all that knowledge. And they don't have to put them out of school, because if they put them out of school, then they're going to run afoul of the ACLU and the NAACP and all these other groups that says if you put it's like the bag of Skittles theory. You put a red out, you can put out a blue and a green and all that. No, the child is not getting put out of the school. The child's getting put out of the classroom. Because we have a lot of teachers who just retire because they get tired of wrestling with students who could very well beat them to a pulp because of their size nowadays. So if they have that assurance that they've got control of the classroom, I think we can get a lot of those good teachers to come back. And then if we can get the schools up to a level 5 because we've got discipline back in the schools, then the level 5 school district is like landing an Amazon plant or a Nissan plant. And so we got to understand that we can make progress where we can. Okay, we may not be able to land the Nissan plant in Jackson today, but if we get our schools up to a level 5, we could very well land future Nissan plants. But we got to be proactive. So again, just through a simple rule change. Doesn't cost anybody any money, no special legislative needs or anything like that. It's just a matter of, will somebody say it, and will the school board do it? And I think if we put enough pressure, because the marketplace, Mississippi Development Authority, Nissan, Amazon are constantly telling us, hey, you give us a level 5 school, you're under consideration.
That was a little long.
Yeah, but that's what the editor's for. Cut out the pauses. Yeah, I could break it up in a couple of segments.
But you can, from there, go and how do you get industry to come in?
Well, just that's level 5. That's the only way. That's the only way you're gonna get it in a largely Democrat-controlled area, is through level 5 schools. Because at the end of the day, people want order and structure. And if you got the kids in the classroom who are not, if you have the kids in the classroom who are not structured and it's not ordered, and there's no order rather, then they're going to be the same way on the job site. They're going to be the same way around the job site. So there is a method to the madness. It goes back to what I said earlier at the beginning of all this. We have leadership that's living below our upbringing. You and I weren't allowed to just do anything we wanted. I remember at the family picnics, when it came time for the ice cream or the watermelon and things like that, and all the kids, okay, it's time for the dessert. What did we all have to do? You had to sit down and be still. You be lined up on the bench waiting. Everybody had to be quiet. You're in there, and the same thing is going to happen here. Again, I'm not bringing anything new to the table. We're just going back to what worked, and it's all doable. This is why I'm so excited about running and making these ideals available to those who may be hearing it for the first time. But I am certain, as a matter of fact, I can guarantee you we will be successful Yes, we're going to have some opposition, but the opposition will just make us stronger. In fact, it'll help build the self-esteem we need as citizens of Jackson who have been told for so long, all you need is another grant. All you need is somebody else to do something. No, we're going to do things for ourselves. And as a result, we're going to build some genuine self-esteem from having accomplished some real, tangible things that say, man, this is progress.